I got an email earlier on today from a guy called Kieran, and it's referring to a story that's in the news. I'll just tell you briefly the story. An openly gay teacher who claimed to have been hounded out of work by bigoted students and staff has settled his action for damages. Pierce Brannigan sued County Louth's Vocational Educational Committee for failing to act after he was subjected to an alleged string of homophobic incidents over a 9-year period. On one occasion, he claimed a door in St Lawrence's Community College in Drogheda was daubed with the words "Brannigan is a queer" and some other word is bleeped out. Stones were also thrown at him in class, and verbal abuse from pupils went unpunished, the action claimed. Well, I got an email from a guy called Kieran, and he said, Adrian, there's a story going around in Drogheda, where I'm from, about a gay teacher who was getting abuse in the school he worked in. I know the school and I know of the gay teacher because he was very open about it. I don't have a problem with gay people, but I do think that teachers should keep it to themselves. You know what teenagers are like. They slag people being gay. Why would a teacher let people know if he's gay? I'm not saying he deserved any slagging over being gay, but keep it to yourself. Students in schools and parents don't need to know if a teacher is gay. And that is from a guy called Kieran. And I'd love to hear from you on this. 6797104. Is it acceptable, or should it be acceptable, for a teacher, particularly a secondary school, or any teacher actually for that matter, to be openly gay in school? 6797104 is our telephone number. Anita, you're on FM104. How are you, Anita?
Hiya, how are you?
Now, you believe that he shouldn't have to hide his sexuality?
No, his sexuality should have nothing to do with it. He's not in there to teach sexuality. He's in there to teach history, geography, whatever, French. His sexuality should have nothing to do with it.
And in theory, I would agree with you. Sexuality should have nothing to do with anything. But you know, and I know, because we were all one once, we're teenagers, and teenagers will stag people over everything and anything. Yeah,
but I had crazy teachers that put their feet up on the table and thought it was music for a year, nothing else. But it didn't, you know what I mean? It didn't get us into what our sexuality was or what she was. It's ridiculous. It's totally crazy.
Okay, so a teacher should be allowed to be openly gay in front of... but is that not... And I know we should be a lot more tolerant, and teenagers should be a lot more tolerant and whatever nowadays.
Children.
But is it not opening up a person for that sort of grief from teenagers who, by their very nature, are immature?
No, they shouldn't. Not at all. No, it shouldn't affect them whatsoever.
Okay, so a teacher should be able to be openly...
why not? Why not?
Openly gay and proud.
Yeah, and why not? It's part of the whole spectrum of life. You have straight, gay, bisexual, whatever. It shouldn't have any, influence whatsoever.
Okay, stay there for 1 second and do me a favour, Anita. Turn down your radio. I'll come back to you in 1 second. 6797104 is our telephone number. I'd like to hear from you. Do you think it is perfectly okay and acceptable for a teacher, a secondary school teacher, to be openly gay? John, you're on FM104. How are you, John?
No, I don't think it's a good idea, Adrian.
Why not?
Well, to be honest with you, I wouldn't like a gay teacher teaching my son. Because, I know gay people, and they're very, very, very outright about how they are these days, and that's great. It's up to them, you know what I mean? I don't personally have that against them. I don't. You know what I mean? Keep yourselves, do what you like, you know what I mean? Like, that's grand.
So therefore, why would you have a problem with a gay teacher teaching your child?
Exactly what I'm trying to say to you. They're very open about what kind of, sex they are, and you know what I mean? I find it hard, I wouldn't like it. That's been outside. I'd be afraid that, to be probably, teaching kids that, look, like, it's simple, I'm gay. Why would he even be saying it in the first place? He wants to be open about it to his class. He's obviously going to start talking to his class about it, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but so what?
No, it is. It's not so what. No, it's not. No, it's not so what. Don't be smart with me. It's not so what. That's maybe so what to you, but it's not so what to me. look, I'm not teaching my son. Look, my son doesn't need to know that shit. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, he's gone to school to get an education. Fuck him if he's gay or not, or fuck her if she's a lesbian. I don't care who wants to be what or what wants to be who. You keep it outside the class at the start. You know what I mean? I'm not having a part of this. No way, buddy. You know what I mean? Look, I don't have a problem with it, like I said, but don't start bringing it into the classrooms. You know what I mean? Fuck.
Okay, so if a teacher is gay, you're saying they should keep it to themselves. They should hide the fact. Or are you saying you just wouldn't be comfortable with a gay man teaching your son full stop?
Yeah, full stop as well, yeah. Keep your shit to yourself. If you want to keep that, you know what I mean? That's your own personal life. What are you bringing it into the classroom for?
But if a teacher, let's say a teacher takes holidays to go off and get married, how are you going to hide that? The whole class will know about it. So.
I'll tell you what, I'll clarify the situation really, really black and white for you. And because that's what I need to do, I suppose, because there's some fucking idiots out there as well. If, say, for example, my son was in a class tomorrow and his teacher was gay, you'd be taken out of class straight away. End of.
Why?
Because I wouldn't have a part of it, Adrian. Gay people are different than... Well, obviously they're different to normal sex couples. Of course they are. And they're very strong about what they want to talk about and what they want to say about. Like, you know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to tell you. They want to be open about this shit. Exactly what happened here. You know, with your man there. You know what I mean?
But you're hardly saying it's acceptable for this teacher to have gotten the sort of abuse that he got in that school.
I'm not saying that, Adrian. Listen, I don't... Look, it doesn't matter what you are. Nobody deserves abuse these days for nothing. That's you know what I mean?
But you're saying if you found out that your son's teacher was gay, you would take him out of the class?
Yes, of course I would. Yes, I would.
Well, Anita, what do you make of that?
No gay people can teach. That's it. Everybody
I don't care what you say.
Can teach. If they're gay, don't teach.
Well, you see, John, what I'm trying to work out is what are you saying? Keep it to yourself, so therefore I won't know that you're gay?
No.
Or
back in the closet.
Is that what you're saying? Keep it to yourself so that I as a parent don't hear about it?
No, it's not really a sense of that either. Listen, look, if a teacher's gay, right? I'm sure there's 110,000 teachers all over the world that are gay. I haven't said it, right? But if I found out tomorrow, like I said, if my teacher was teaching my son, he was gay. Listen, as I said,
do you not have any gay teachers?
I never had a gay teacher, no.
No, I'm sure you didn't.
Listen, I'm sick about... Listen, at the end of the day, listen, I don't even want to turn there. But listen, we all know about the Catholic Church and everything else.
Whether you ever got taught by a gay man or a gay woman?
Listen.
Whether you were taught by a gay man or a gay woman?
You actually have a very valid point there. I don't actually...
On their forehead, I'm gay.
You have a very valid point. No, I don't know whether he did or not. Exactly. I have a different story here. If a teacher wants to turn around and say he's gay in front of the class, that's the end of that.
Perverted or something?
That's what I'm trying to work out what your possible issue with would be with having a gay teacher.
That's it. I don't want it. End of story. I'm not entitled to it. You know what I mean? That's just it. I don't want, like I said to you, Adrian, gay people are very outspoken, and I'd be afraid that the gay
He's hardly going to be discussing his sexuality in class.
I'm not exactly saying that, Adrian. I'm not exactly saying that. But I tell you what, you'd probably be amazed there. I'm sure there's a lot of parents like myself there that if the teacher was gay, you know what I mean? You know, I don't know
if there's many parents listening now that would take their child out of a class because they had a gay teacher.
I wouldn't feel comfortable. End of story. I wouldn't. I have to be honest with you, I wouldn't. You know what I mean? Like I say, fair play to them. Do what you like. Go get married. Go adopt children. Do what you like. You won't be teaching my son. End of.
All right, stay there for a second. James, you're on FM104. How are you, James?
How's it going? I don't think John knows exactly what he's trying to say there.
I don't either, to be honest with you.
Sorry?
Basically, what I don't want is a gay teacher teaching me son. That's what I'm trying to say. Is that all right?
It's okay to adopt a child that you don't know. Or
as I said, I don't give a fuck what you do.
Yeah, but do what you like, but don't teach your child. You're not making sense. It doesn't make sense.
Why am I not making sense? What sense am I not making?
What's the problem with...
I don't want the gay man telling my son is Basically, I don't want to teach him.
Do you think he's going to come into school on a Monday? How's it going, everybody? How's your weekend? I got a blowjob off a stranger in a lane. Do you think he's going to say that?
Never said it. Of course, and I don't give a fuck what he says. Whatever he says, I don't really give a fuck because he wouldn't be in the class in the first place. Simple as.
Why would he not?
Because I don't like the thought of it. I just don't, and that's me. What's wrong with that?
Your opening statement was, I know gay people, I've no problem with them, but yeah.
Keep it to themselves. Fuck off and keep it to yourselves. I don't give a fuck what you do with it. But listen, you won't be teaching me kids. That's it. So what?
Yeah, God forbid, Jesus, God forbid the poor child. What if your son turned out gay? What would happen then?
Sure, look, I'll have to live with it and deal with it, won't I?
I don't think...
You see, John, again, you haven't explained in a logical way why it would be a problem having a gay teacher teach your son.
Listen, Adrian, I just don't like the thought of it. Imagine a gay teacher. Imagine a gay teacher bringing them, come here, I want to point this out as well, okay? A teacher does a lot with kids these days, right?
Yeah.
Brings them swimming, brings them canoeing, God knows what, brings them on all these activities. Imagine thinking about this, right? A gay teacher having his kids out in the swimming pool. Fuck that. You know what I mean?
Hang on for 1 second, John.
James.
James, for 1 second. This really bugs the shit out of me sometimes. Just because somebody is gay doesn't mean they're a paedophile. There's a huge difference. Well, then why would you have a problem with it? Just because somebody is gay...
I have a problem with it. I do have a problem with it.
Sorry, James, go on.
Would you let your sons be taught by Christian brothers, would you?
Listen, come here. Don't even get me started about them. Do you know what I mean? Don't even get me started. You know?
Go away, would you?
Let me ask you, James, the question that we're asking tonight, John has kind of taken us in a different direction, to be honest.
Was that I had a business study teacher, and he was, in hindsight, he was gay, but at the time I didn't know he was.
Yeah.
But he was the most brilliant and diverse teacher I ever had in my life.
Yeah.
He was brilliant. And that was just his personality. And it turned out years later, I think I met him at a social event, and he was gay.
Yeah.
It made no doubt. He was still a brilliant person, still a brilliant man.
Okay, the fact of the matter is that as kids, when you were in school, you didn't know he was gay. He wasn't openly gay. This particular teacher that we're talking about was openly gay and got an awful lot of taunting in the school. This guy, Kieran, who sent me the email, says he knows him, he knows the school, whatever, and that he just should have kept it to himself.
Well...
like your teacher did.
Well, I think, in hindsight, maybe the signs were there, but me being young and naive, like I'm 37 years of age now, I couldn't read them, but maybe there was other people at the time who could. It was there, but maybe that's just society today. He was never harassed over it. People thought, I think he's a bit different. Yeah, he is a bit different. He's a great man, though, isn't he? Yeah, he's a great man, great teacher. Yeah, what's to worry about? But I think,
John, at the end of the day, with our kids, is that not all we want? Is decent teachers, good teachers?
Adrian, at the end of the day as well, and I just wanted to say this as well, why would a teacher, why would he do that to himself? Like, say, put yourself in his shoes. If I was a teacher, and why would you actually, because you know quite well there's going to be trouble over this. Like, why? Why would he actually say this?
Because there's a stigma attached to what he is, and maybe he was trying to break down a few barriers, but obviously it didn't work.
Break down a few barriers. Sure, there's more barriers going to come on top of him if he does actually do. Like you said yourself, you met him at a social event then a long time back. You know what I mean? And you found out he was gay. Like, look, I'm not saying that I have a vendetta against gay people here. There's no doubt about that. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying
it certainly sounds like you do, John, if you're saying you take your child out of a class if he's been taught by a gay man.
But look, why not keep it under wraps for the time being?
If you walked into, God forbid, if your young fella got a bang of a bus and ended up on an operating theatre being operated on by a gay doctor, would you have a problem with that?
Sure, I'm way out of bounds there. But look, at the end of the day...
No, I'm trying to work out what the issue is.
Look, you bring up the subject here of a gay, a teacher coming out telling the class he's gay. And my point is exactly, he shouldn't be really telling the people he's gay because he's going to open up a can of worms for himself. And plus the fact, like I said myself, if I did know a teacher was gay, I would take my son out. That's it. What's the big deal? What is the big fact of that? What is your problem?
I think, unfortunately, he maybe should have kept it under wraps, but that's more for a depiction of today's society.
Yeah, but and in hindsight, maybe. But You know, the other side of this argument is, James, we live in a modern society. We have, homosexuality is no longer illegal, hasn't been for over 20 years. We have civil partnership. We'll eventually have gay marriage. And yet a gay teacher has to keep it to himself.
Yeah, but see, there's pros and cons of the actions he took. Now, and the other side of the coin is there's two types of gay. There's the flamboyant fucking, yourself, and then there's the understated. Which is he?
I don't know. But now I had a teacher as a young fellow as well, and in hindsight and all that, he was definitely gay as well, and he was very effeminate. No, he didn't walk around in a dress or anything, but he was very effeminate. But I haven't met him since, but I would be absolutely convinced if I bumped into him tomorrow he was gay. I'd be very surprised if he wasn't. Harry, you're on FM104. How are you, Harry?
Good evening, Adrian. How are you?
Grand, thank you. Now, go on, what did you want to say on this?
You should be sacked.
Should be sacked for what?
For telling the class he's gay. For a start, a teacher.
Well, I don't know if he ever told a class he was gay.
It's a teacher's job to teach his pupils.
Yeah.
Or the girls or the boys or whatever they are, whatever sex they are. It's not his job to tell the pupils his sexual orientation.
No, I'm sure he didn't stand up in front of it. Well, maybe, I don't know, actually. But the newspaper article that we were reading about him today just describes him as an openly gay teacher. So obviously he didn't hide the fact. Let's put it that way.
So I hope he got sacked.
No, he didn't get sacked.
Unfortunately.
Do you think openly gay teachers should be sacked?
They should be sacked, yeah.
Joe, you're on FM104. How are you, Joe?
Hey, Adrian.
Now, Joe, what did you want to say on this?
I want to say, I agree with John there. I completely agree with John. If a person is gay, they keep it to themselves and that's the end of it. They don't need to be preaching it. And as he says, the gay people are usually open-minded and always bragging and advertising that they're gay and usually want to push it onto other people as well. And it's in the wrong place in a school to be being openly minded about being gay, because for all you know, they could be trying to teach other people about the gay community, and some parents mightn't get it.
So why would you think that just because somebody's gay, they're going to be going around, bragging about it?
Well, why was it mentioned in the school in the first place?
Because this particular teacher was gay and proud.
Yeah, he might be gay and proud, but that doesn't mean he has to advertise it across the whole school, in a school. If he's gay, that's it. Leave it at that. Don't be bragging it and teaching it to other kids or other students that he's gay.
Well, why not?
Well, what was he trying to achieve to announce it in the school?
I don't know if it was actually announced in the school, but he probably just never hid the fact. Although it was described as him being openly gay.
Yeah, so I mean, is he trying to push other people into being gay as well?
Who said that?
Well, John is as John said, gay people are more open-minded than other people, than straight people.
So again, if you found out that a teacher, you would agree with John, if you found out that your child's teacher was gay, you would take your child out of that class?
Possibly, yeah. If he's after announcing it in a school, and he's announcing,
I doubt he went announcing it in the school.
Well, as you turn around and say, he mentioned it in a school. Like, I mean,
no, he was openly gay. In other words, he didn't hide the fact.
Okay, so but I mean, on the other side of it is, if students were to ask him questions, what way would he answer it? Would he say, yeah, I'm gay, or would he say, mind their own business? That's the other side of it. But I'm only stating on the fact that I'm sticking up with John there, saying that as he made a comment there that the gay community are more openly minded, are advertising it. Like, I mean, you don't see people out on the streets having a straight parade. They're always having gay parades and everything else, advertising that they're gay.
All right, stay there for 1 second. 6797104 is our telephone number. Jordan, you're on FM104. How are you, Jordan?
I'm good, thank you. The whole thing about a straight parade, being straight is fully acceptable. Like, gays are fighting for their rights, so I don't understand that whole thing. We are treated not equally. So the reason for a parade is hopefully to get people who are open-minded to accept it, unlike the people that are talking on this show tonight.
Jordan, I'll be honest with you. Generally, when we have topics on the subject of homosexuality, generally people's attitude towards it has changed a fair bit since I started doing this programme, okay? But this is the first time in a long time that I've had a lot of people on about this particular aspect of homosexuality, and a lot of people saying if you're a teacher and you're gay, you should keep it to yourself.
I'm sure he clearly didn't go into the school, get on the intercom and admit.
No, I'm sure he didn't.
Gay.
No.
It wasn't on his CV, yes, I'm gay, because you don't have to be. There's gay doctors, as you said. There's gay doctors, like, hopefully, there is people that are out there that are gay, that are working. It shouldn't affect how someone teaches. It doesn't affect your brain power. You're still able to teach a child the same amount. It's like having a female teacher and saying, I'm going to bring the kids to the pool. Would you let your boy go with a girl teacher? Would you not be afraid that she's going to come on to him? Every gay fella isn't going to come on to a little boy. Just because you're gay doesn't mean you're a pervert. It doesn't mean you are attracted to every single man out there. And I'm openly gay, but I wouldn't walk into a place and say, I'm here, I'm queer, get used to it. It's not how it goes. Like, I'm a hairdresser. I didn't go in there the first day and say, yeah, I'm gay, come on, be my friend. It doesn't work like that. You just go about your life.
Okay, but what we're talking about and what I'm somewhat surprised by is the attitude of people when it comes to a gay teacher. Because of the mere fact that teenagers, by their very nature, can be very, very cruel in the way they slag people. Yeah?
Yeah.
So therefore, this teacher who was he was subjected to abuse, and it wasn't just against students, by the way. It was other teachers as well. But had he kept it to himself, then this wouldn't have been a problem for him.
Yeah, but that's just like saying, like, if you're in love with someone, you can't say it. It's not a choice he had. Like, that's someone he is. It's not something he got to choose. So why does he have to hide that? Like, I'm sure he didn't go in wearing the gay pride flag. I read something about they'd found it through his Facebook. I don't know if that's 100% right, and they'd questioned him on it. So why not say, like, yeah, he could have said it's none of your business. But saying that is pretty much saying, yes, I am gay. He didn't say, I'm gay, I like you. He's just saying, yes, I'm gay. Now let's get back to what the subject is about.
Yeah, but see, on that point is he should have kept that to himself if he was to announce around like that. And as you said, gay people seem to advertise it a lot more and throw it out there a lot more in people's faces about being gay.
Yeah, but Joe, why should... Like, I'm straight, okay? And it's no problem for me to tell the whole world that I'm straight. But I have known of people in the radio business even who are gay but never ever admitted it on the radio.
Yeah, but what I'm saying to you is...
So in other words, just because... Why should somebody who's gay have to hide the fact?
Because it's not accepted.
Yeah, well, one of the things is, right, it's not accepted. But the second part is that, as you said, the gay people are more openly minded. Like, with straight people, they don't go around and say, yeah, listen, I'm straight, I'm this, I'm that. Like, I mean, why did he have to be so openly minded? Like, straight people aren't as openly minded when they're going out with the opposite sex. But gay people seem to...
Being openly minded isn't a bad thing, though. Being openly minded is looking at the world in a good way. It's accepting things. Like, I'm openly gay. I'm open minded. I don't judge anyone. I have no racism towards me. I accept everyone as they are, because everyone in their form is an equal human being. That's how I look at being open minded. It's not that I look at it in a sexual way.
Yeah. But I would have a problem if you were teaching the likes of my son in a school and started saying I'm gay or anything like that. Or if it came out to the gay or kids actually say, listen.
But okay, so what does somebody do? Somebody who's gay.
So, Adrian, So
no, hang on, just wait till I ask you the question. Somebody who's gay, and like I said, I had a teacher when I was a young fella, and he was so gay. Now, I don't know for a 100% fact that he was a homosexual, but I'd nearly bet my house on it, okay? Now, if a teacher gets asked, are you gay? Should he say no? If he actually is. No, should he tell lies?
But you should say, listen, that my personal life doesn't concern you. Simple as that. Which it doesn't. He's only there to teach, and that's the end of it. And if he starts bringing his sexual lifestyle into a school, that's it. That's how the...
He didn't bring it into it, though. That's the point. He didn't bring it in. Someone else brought it into it, and he just admitted to it. It's like me asking a teacher, so do you have a boyfriend? And she's saying, yeah. That's her bringing her personal life into it, but she wouldn't get abused for that or get fired. So there really is no difference.
Yeah, but see, hang on. Here's the point I'm trying to make is, and as I said, if the question is asked, it's not the student's business. If a question is ever asked towards any gay member, it's none of their business, and you keep it to themselves. Simple as that. You don't bring out like that into a teaching area, because on the other side of it is that if it came, for forbidden sake, that a gay teacher was in there and was trying to promote gayness into a school, I guarantee you a lot of parents are going to have major problems with that. Even if it's mentioned in a school, a lot of parents would have a major problem with gayness being mentioned in a teaching when it's not a subject.
What if it was a gay student trying to promote gayness, like just to open the other students' eyes?
It doesn't make any difference. At the end of the day, the teacher...
At the end of the day, you were saying it just shouldn't be accepted. Gayness shouldn't be publicly accepted in the school. It's not something that should be recognised, like teaching religion. What if you were an atheist? Should they not teach religion to your child? And would you take your son out of that school because you don't believe in God?
Some people actually do. Had the truth be known.
Well, that's small-minded.
Okay, stay there for 1 second. Let me bring in some more calls on this. 6797104 is our telephone number. James, you're on FM104. How are you, James? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, James, how are you?
No, I was on already.
Oh, you were? Sorry, so you were. Yeah, Jim, you're on FM104. How are you, Jim?
Hi, Adrian, how are you?
Grand, thank you, Jim. You also wouldn't be comfortable with a gay teacher?
Yeah, that's correct. I'm a student, and if a teacher came in, they were openly gay, I'd feel very uncomfortable in the classroom, and I'd just refuse to go in.
Why?
Because it's just very uncomfortable.
And how? How would it be uncomfortable?
Like if I would just say if I was to go up to the bin or something like that, they'd be looking at me. Just feel very, very.
You see,
weird.
that I have to say that's absolutely pathetic to think that just because somebody is gay means they're automatically going to fancy you because you happen to be male. Do you know what I mean? You're a straight man. You're a straight man, Jim. I'm taking it. Do you fancy every woman that walks past you? Of course you don't.
The majority of them, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You fancy most women?
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
Jordan, what do you make of that attitude?
I just think that's people's self-insecurities. Like, people must think too big about themselves, because I don't fancy any man that walks by me. Literally, 3 lads are after walking by me there. I didn't bat an eyelid. I'm sitting there looking at the girls in the car. Doesn't bother me. I just think that's people's self-preferences. Maybe some people think wisely of themselves, that they think every gay man will be attracted to them, but it's not how it is. And that's what maybe, like, bringing gayness into a school, talking about it publicly. I know when I was in 6th year, they had one African-American fella in the school, so they were doing a world fair, having all different fields, and I wanted to bring in, like, maybe we could have a gay stall. It wasn't accepted. I had a teacher a home ec teacher who would talk about all different types of family, but she wouldn't talk about a civil partnership. Now, I found that wrong for me, but that's everyone's choice. At the end of the day, it's 1 step forward and 2 steps back. You can't please everyone, and I don't think you ever will.
And are you surprised to hear as many people as we have? And like I said, generally on gay topics, we would have a majority of people totally supporting the gay community nowadays. But on this one, no, it seems to be different.
To be honest, I'm not surprised at all. It saddens me. Like, I'm sitting out here and it is upsetting, but I'm not surprised. And that just shows what it's like to be openly gay. It's just not accepted. Like, I sometimes do not want to walk up to the shops. I know, well, yeah, that's easily a possibility that I'll get abuse hurled at me, and it is most often. I could have something said to me nearly every day. But you just get on with life. It can't be changed. You just have to go about your life. And I think that's what people have to understand. It's not a choice that's made. It's just everyone's out there to live their life, like. And I just think...
So in answer to the belief that a lot of people seem to have, with regard to keeping your... Especially if you're a teacher. I mean, I don't think anybody would have an issue with a gay hairdresser or whatever.
Well, yeah.
But when it comes to being a teacher, people seem to have a completely different attitude towards it.
I think if I had to be in a story about a fella got off a doctor's table because the doctor was gay, people would still have something to say about it at the end of the day. Everyone just wants something to, like, nag about, and it's always something to do with gay culture. It's not accepted, and I don't really see it ever being in the near future.
And as a gay person, that must be very difficult then. To think that you can't, that there are certain jobs that you can't be open and honest about your homosexuality.
Oh, I know people who can be open and honest. I know people that are 26 and they were in the music industry and they couldn't come out. It wasn't possible for them to come out because they would have lost jobs, and that's their career at the end of the day. And it's saddening, but it's just everyone gets on with their life. I guess we're all not so flamboyant and in your face and rubbing it in everyone's face that not everyone would know. Because I suppose all gays are flamboyant and everyone would know.
Rachel, you're on FM104. How are you, Rachel?
Hi,
How are you, Rachel? Now, what do you want to say on this?
I just don't understand why it's a big deal for, gays to come out like that. Like, I just don't get what the big deal is. It's not like they're going to teach any differently.
Now, you've heard teachers who callers who say they would take their children out of a class if the teacher was openly gay, that they should keep it to themselves. They shouldn't, profess the fact. They should actually hide it, is almost what I'm hearing, in that line of work. You obviously think that's pathetic in this day and age, do you?
I think it's absolutely ridiculous. Like, really, it's 2013. Do you not think people should be over that by now? Like, it's not like...
Well, Joe, in 2013 Ireland, we should be over this.
Yeah, well, not so much over it, but like, I don't...
Sorry, Joe, go on.
Not when it comes into a school and a teaching that has nothing to do with sexuality, with teaching people to be gay.
Fair enough, they shouldn't go around like being like, oh, woohoo, I'm gay, whatever. But if for some reason someone's to find out what is the big deal, it's not like they're going to teach any differently. It's not like they're different in any way. Yeah, they like the same sex, that's it.
But you see, Joe, isn't homosexuality a part of life? I mean, if you're a secondary school pupil, the chances are that somebody in your year or whatever is going to be gay.
As I said, you keep your gayness to yourself. That's
but why? Why?
Because when it comes down to a fact, you don't want to be teaching other people in the school, if parents don't like it, to be influenced.
You shouldn't be ashamed of your sexuality either. You shouldn't have to hide it just because someone else has something to say about it. Everyone deserves to be their own person. Like, tough shit if other people don't like it.
Well, it would be if it counts to the fact that they're influencing children to turn gay.
They're not influencing children. It's not like he's going around rubbing it in everyone's face. He's gay.
As I turned around and said, and as the last caller John said, is that if they're gay, they keep it to themselves, and it doesn't come into a teaching community. Simple as that. You don't brag about it.
You see, Rachel, as we were saying, I mean, part of what happened to this teacher was at the hand of other teachers, which is disgraceful that he was being slagged by other teachers, but that is horrible. But also part of what was happening to him was the abuse he was getting from students. Now, students by their very nature, especially teenagers, are cruel, heartless bastards sometimes.
No, I completely understand that.
Why would a teacher put themselves up for that?
I understand that aspect because, like, I'm in 6th year in school. I know what teenagers are like, but at the same time, I still don't think people should hide behind that. Like, I don't think they should be afraid to come out just because of that. It's not.
They shouldn't have to, but it appears. I mean, I would imagine there are an awful lot more gay teachers than we know about, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, there is, but they keep it to themselves. Like, they don't be broadcasting that they're.
Whoever said that they were broadcasting it? This is what I don't get. Like, no one ever said.
As we turned around and said, most of gays, because of the way the situation is, with the way gays want to be noticed and things like that, they're too openly minded.
No, but that's you just not being open-minded at all. You can't say all gays are like that because they're not.
I didn't say hang on. I didn't say all gays. I said gays are openly minded, which means.
Yeah, but why? What's the big deal with being open-minded?
Because I wouldn't like my child to be taught about gayness. Simple as that.
But who's going to teach your child about gayness?
As soon as your child grows up, it's going to grow into a world where, like, gays are going to be everywhere. You can't hide your child from it forever. Fair enough, you don't want it broadcasted, you don't want it, like, rubbing off on them, whatever. That's your own choice. But, like, they're going to grow up into it anyway, so what is the big deal now?
They're going to grow up to it, but they will know from their parents' point of view how sexuality works. If they turn around
if your child was to say they were gay, you'd say it's wrong.
Me personally, yeah, I would. I would personally, yeah.
That's not right either, like.
But that's my personal opinion.
Yeah, I guess that's just your personal opinion, but you think...
So it's my personal opinion, right? It's also my personal opinion how my child will be brought up, right? On a situation of that, I'd be looking at it as it to be straight, it'd be the right, gay, isn't it? That's my personal
fair
opinion.
enough. That's your point of view.
But I don't go around slagging gay people or jeering them or that like that or this, that and the other. But it'd be my personal opinion. And if I have a personal opinion on a situation with a gay, that's me. I'm not broadcasting it. I'm not
saying that your personal opinion is wrong. I just don't see how a gay person can be any worse.
Okay, let me read a text, Joe, that's just come in, and it says, I'll read exactly what it says. Influencing children to be gay? Give me a break. Would you ever tell that absolute dickhead on the line, you're born gay? Sad, sad man, I'm gay and people think I'm straight, and I still wouldn't change me for the world. In other words, just because a teacher is gay doesn't mean they're going to be in any way, trying to recruit more gay people or persuade people that to become gay. It just sounds ridiculous.
Well, it doesn't seem to be when they're having their gay parades. That's the way I look at it. I mean, what?
No, that's completely ridiculous. Like, you can't say anything about that. Like, you do not even see where gay people are coming from. Like, they want it to be accepted. Fair enough, you might not get it, but like, what's the big deal in gay parades?
Okay, that's right. That's fair enough. Let them do it their own way, but don't be going around in the street saying I'm gay or shouting it out. People when they're straight don't do it.
Yeah, but that's different because straight is acceptable. Gay isn't in some cases, and that's not right. In my opinion, that's not right.
So you're saying that because it's not right, it's all right for them to stand around in the street and marching up and down town or whatever to broadcast.
No, I never said that, but I can understand why gay people would like for them to be accepted, because could you imagine if you were gay and you wanted to be accepted into society? Like, how would you feel?
Yeah, but there's more people in this society that doesn't accept gay than there is that would accept.
I know, but obviously when people have the attitude that I don't want my teacher taught by a gay person, obviously that sort of attitude is going to remain. The fact of the matter is that your kid is going to come across gay people during their entire school life, be it other students or...
The only way you would know is if they ever preached or ever came out, and as it came back to this party is where they're openly minded.
All right, hang on there for a second. Liam, you're on FM104. How are you, Liam?
How are you doing?
Grand, thank you, Liam. What did you want to say on this?
Well, I think it's wrong for gays to be giving it all up because you're promoting it.
Sorry, say that again?
You're promoting gays, like, and the young people that are confused.
Sorry, will you talk into your phone there, Liam?
Sorry?
Will you talk into your phone, good man?
No. Come here, you're promoting gays. Why are you promoting gays?
Oh, here, Joe, Liam, go and sober up, will you? And ring me back when you're sober. Tony, you're on FM104. How are you, Tony?
How's it going, Adrian?
Grand, thank you, Tony. It's Joe you wanted to talk to, was it?
Among others, yeah.
Yeah, go on.
Well, Adrian, first I want to ask you a question about this so-called teacher. Was he drawing bloody pictures about how his sexual life goes with other people?
Sorry, say that again?
Was he drawing pictures for the kids in the class?
I would very much doubt it.
Yeah, so what's the problem? If he's a good teacher, what's the problem? If he's not throwing around... And hold on, mate, you need to get it into your head. You're not fucking... You don't turn out gay. You're born gay. It's not a lifestyle choice. I have friends that are gay, and they actually are afraid to tell people. They live a fucking life in absolute secrecy because of this. Because of the way the fucking society treats people like that. And you're a little narrow-minded Phil.
Who's that to?
That's you, Joe.
I'm narrow-minded.
Yeah, you're a narrow-minded little fucker. You say you disown your child if he turned out to be gay?
No, he didn't say that.
No, I didn't. So stop putting words in my mouth.
No, all he said was... No, all he said was that he would not be happy if his child was being taught by a gay man.
No, Adrian, hold on. A second ago, he said to that girl he wouldn't be happy if his child turned out to be gay.
No, he didn't.
No, I didn't hear him saying that either.
Sorry, the fella was just talking.
Well, that's Joe. I didn't hear him saying that, though.
Right, so what if his child did turn out to be gay?
Hang on. What I turned around and said was that I'd rather teach my kid that I wouldn't like... I don't like gays, I personally don't like gays, and I'd like to teach it onto my son. That's exactly what I said. But I don't need it being promoted from somebody else to teach him to turn gay. That's what I said.
But what sort of a person in a job of responsibility as a teacher is going to start trying to teach somebody to be gay?
Okay, Okay, how for starters, how did the students find out in the school that he was gay?
Because he probably didn't hide the fact.
Okay, so that would have been out in the open in the school, which he should have kept it to himself.
That could have been anything. Okay, let's say, hang on, let's just say, for example, somebody in the school is working as a lounge boy in a pub, and he sees the teacher on a Saturday night out with his boyfriend in a pub.
Right.
And he goes and he tells everybody, and somebody asks the teacher, "Are you gay?" "Yeah." "And?" Now, where's the big...
I just turn around and say to the student, it's none of your business, stay out of it. I'm only here to teach, not to preach.
So there you go.
So a gay teacher should completely deny everything.
When it's in a school
and not be
when it's in the school grounds, they're not there to mention anything about their sexual life in the school grounds.
So hide it. I remember when I was in school, one of our teachers got married, yeah? And it was our French teacher at the time. And the whole class chipped in and bought him a present. Right?
Mm.
So if a teacher happens to be getting married in a gay relationship or a civil partnership or whatever, he has to keep that totally to himself?
No, but it's the fact that you keep it out of school.
But my French teacher, when I was a kid, didn't keep it to himself. Everybody knew he was getting married and we all bought him a present.
Yeah, well, it should have been left out of school. It shouldn't be involved in the school.
Oh, so we shouldn't have known anything about that?
No. Well, not the fact that, it's a wedding thing, It's probably going to come out, but when it comes into a school, then, yeah, it's none of their business. They're there to learn, not to...
Okay, so, Tony, what I'm hearing from Joe is teachers, full stop, should keep their private life out of school.
I'll give you a good one now, right? My son, he's 7, and me and my missus have noticed his teacher, she's like a fucking robot. She calls them in, at the end of the day, they're gone. That's it. She doesn't actually interact with them. She just does the lessons, that's it. Now, his last teacher last year, she talked to them. She would interact with the kids, you know what I mean? My son would come home, she taught us this, and she would sit down and she was telling us about this and how the birds and whatever, I don't know. And that was a great thing, And when he comes home now, and we're like, so what's the teacher say to you today? And he's just like, oh, well, we've done our stuff and that's it. So is that the way all teachers have to be now?
Listening to Joe, it sounds like it, yeah.
Well, that's a horrible environment to be in.
I said their personal life.
Yeah, but if a teacher turns around, if a boy turns around to a female teacher, says, you got a boyfriend, is she allowed to say yes?
No, she just tell them to mind their own business, nothing to do with it.
And what about when students say, hey, miss, did you have a good weekend? What she say, get lost, it's my business?
Well, that's different. That's say you got a good weekend, but when it comes into their lifestyle, on their...
So again, you see, Joe, this is where I actually don't believe you, because I know you wouldn't have a problem if your kid come home from school tomorrow. Oh, Daddy, Mr. So-and-so, my teacher, is getting married next week. You're not going to say, that's outrageous that he told you that.
Most parents would say, yes, oh, good, happy days. Okay.
But you certainly wouldn't have a problem with it.
No.
But if he came home and said, oh, Daddy, my teacher, Mr. So-and-so, is gay, you'd have a problem with it.
Yep.
So what if he's a good teacher and he's gay? Would you still have a problem with it?
As long as it's not mentioned in the school.
But there's some gay people out there that you know. By looking at them a mile away, you'll know. And what if he's
hang on, no, how would you figure that out?
You're telling me you wouldn't? There's not some gay people out there that you just know by looking at them that they're gay?
I mean, believe it or not, I looked at a person there today and I actually thought he was gay. The girlfriend turned around and said not to make a comment about it, and next of all his girlfriend walks in. So I was wrong on that one, wasn't I?
Okay, let me read a couple of your... thanks for your calls, Tony and Joe and all of you. Let me read a few of your texts before I wrap this up. That guy has issues. One of my kids is gay and is a teacher. Not a predator, a teacher, and a damn good one. People like him ignite ignorant fear, says Thomas in Dublin 12. Thank you for your text, Thomas. It's all men you have on. How stupid they are. If a gay man was to save their life, would they say, let me die, you're gay? If this was a gay woman, do you think they'd have the same reaction, asks Paula. I never actually asked that question. Joe, are you still there? No, he's gone, actually. Should have actually asked him that question. So if my 8-year-old boy is taught by a gay lady, is it the same, asks Barry? Your callers have weird standards. Yeah, sorry for not bringing that up. Your man there mightn't admit it, but he sounds homophobic as can be. I'm a straight person and have no problem with gays. How a person can be vilified for something so normal is beyond me. A teacher has the right to teach no matter of their sexuality. He is very narrow-minded. There is nothing wrong with being gay. I can't believe he thinks a teacher will teach his child to be gay. All right, thank you very much indeed for all of your calls, comments, texts and opinions.